right. D. James in the building with the extraterrestrial. Yeah, that girl's an alien. I love when she.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jay Lynn O. We're going to be talking about episode 3 of the Tales of the TMNT. Okay, if you've made it this far, this is the third episode that I've done. This is the third video I've done on this series, and it gets down to the grit. Before I get into the episode, I just want to let you guys know I am so glad that they broke the turtles up, because first off, without breaking the turtles up, you never get an opportunity to gravitate towards your favorite turtle. If Raphael is cool and rude, I want an opportunity to see him do it. I want more time to do it. These 4 turtles have been holding it down since 1984. This is the 40th year anniversary for TMNT. So look, if you didn't like the first episode, you know what that means? You don't like Leo. If you didn't like the second episode, you didn't like Mikey. This is the third episode, and Raph's about to hold it down, because Raph is doing what Raph's been doing. Holding it down, getting violent, going into straight rage mode. The screen's about to get dark. And look, Raph is even telling the story himself. Look, where's my notes? So it starts off with Raph jumping out of the reservoir, and then he ends up meeting with some teens inside of a building. That's when we run into the first appearance of the Purple Dragons, which was really cool. So I'm going to call these teenagers, we're going to have to say, I wouldn't say this is immediate 13, 14-year-old teenagers. This is about, at this point, by looking at the Purple Dragons, I'm going to say we're going to probably be leaning towards maybe 15 and 16 years old. And to be honest with you, unless you guys forgot, even when I was in high school, there were some kids that matured more than others. Some kids' voices cracked. Some kids were scrawny as hell. Some kids had a full beard in high school. So whatever confusion you got, I can understand you don't like the voices, but guess what? These are teenage voices and these are teenage kids. So get off of them. Back to the notes. So, going into that warehouse, Raphael comes in, and it's like this berserker type of mode that Raph goes into. The screen gets like this slightly dark tint. It gets red. He immediately drops in for the fight. He runs into this larger guy who carries a freaking brick but has a love for chickens. And the one thing that I really had to I felt iffy on was to the fact that he was able to go, these Purple Dragons were able to kind of go toe for toe, blow for blow with Raphael, and Raphael's supposed to be a person that, he's supposed to be a mutant. He's supposed to outpower, outquick these humans. But apparently the Purple Dragon crew are keen into martial arts to an extent. These fight scenes I really enjoy. If I were to rank the TV shows and as far as the martial arts scenes, getting some actual moves done, I'd go to 2012 series, and I go with this series. I know a lot of people like to admire the old 1980s cartoon series, but I want you to pay attention to how technology has changed. Those roundhouses were really slow. All you got the chance to see was them twirl their weapons. It was like seeing Scooby-Doo trying to do karate moves. It just didn't hit, okay? Look, Raph and the Purple Dragons were getting down. Okay, I'd also like to mention 2003 series. They didn't really hit us with too much action, guys. When you get a chance, go back and watch 2003's action fight scenes. Don't even compare to 12 and 2024. They don't even compare to Rise. Even though Rise had this mystic stuff. Okay, I'm not even going to go that far. Let's get back to the notes. Alright, so one thing that I did pay attention to with this fight scene in this warehouse with the Purple Dragons is we got the, if I'm not mistaken, this is Katsuni's first appearance in a TV show. I might have to go back, and if anybody else knows other than me, so I don't have to reference it, call me out on it. But this is Katsuni's first appearance. This is almost to pay homage to me of the IDW comic book series, where Katsuni is one of the ancient ones of the Purple Dragon crew, which the Dragon crew, I think that was the first time it was implemented of like the hierarchy and years and the spiritual like dragon itself. That like that's when you come to reference Karai. That's when you come to reference Shredder Goes to Hell. And I mean that whole arc itself. So that was seeing Katsuni was paying homage to her. The only thing about it was she was a short, like elderly woman that was Asian. Katsuni's always been very petite. She's always been petite. She's always been a martial artist, very mysterious, very violent, not really trustworthy either. But I mean, just to the fact that they paid homage, that's cool. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not that much of a fan of everybody's concept art on this TV show. I think the Mutanimals itself look kind of weird to me. I mean, some of them I wish looked cooler than they did. But okay, Mutanimals is not in here. Let's go back to it. The notes. All right, so leaving that pier and that fight scene that has been a flashback or cut scene that when they went down to the docks and the turtles got separated. Well, when Raphael revived from the water going into that warehouse, he had already been injured. So with him going into that fight and being injured, he ends up being knocked unconscious and captured, like wrapped up into a trap. And that's when he runs into Katsuni. And it was at that point Katsuni came up with a plan to actually auction off Raphael. Even Raphael was kind of funny because Raphael also mentioned like, hey, instead of auctioning me off and even cutting off my fingers, you guys could milk me. They're like, nah, we're about to get millions of dollars and put this mutant on the market. Kind of dark for a kid's show, but I don't mind it because it's been kind of friendly this entire time until we get into my favorite Ninja Turtle, Raphael. All right, let's see. Let's go back to the notes. At the same time, another thing that I enjoyed is Raphael had an opportunity to see a reflection of himself within some of the other members of the Purple Dragon, because he's always bullheaded, not really logical about the decisions that he made, and that's some of the consequences that we eventually get to see with the separation of these turtles. And how much it's important for all four of them to actually be together. Even though I do like these isolated incidents of these episodes, like we got an opportunity to see sometimes in the first episode, Leonardo's a bit too passive, and it takes a person like too passive, and he takes too long to make a decision. He's a procrastinator. He's a procrastinating leader. So without Raphael to make him think fast on his toes to make a decision, you know, Raph doesn't really handle like thinking fast and engaging. Whereas Michelangelo's a complete airhead in episode 2, where we got to see him make a whole bunch of mistakes. But then he had to like come in full circle because he ran into somebody that's even more illogical than he is in Pigeon Pete. So then, you know, we get to see Michelangelo learn a life lesson. Raphael runs into a person with the same age, with the same rage problem as him in the stubbornness with the Purple Dragon crew, which he learned to lighten up himself. And within that incident, Raphael actually had the opportunity to escape, because while he was captured, remember those 4 robots that were assigned to each individual turtle finally catches up to Raphael while they're in the warehouse. And the robot is pretty much trying to kill the Purple Dragons at that point. And with Raphael being able to escape beyond the vision without being acknowledged in the room, he was going to escape and leave the Purple Dragon to fight the robot all to themselves, which more than likely, with them being human beings, they were going to die. Raphael changes his mind, decides to save the Purple Dragons. And with that being said, when the robot had arrived, to go back to that, when the robot had arrived, Katsuni was away. So Raphael ends up saving the Purple Dragons. I wouldn't necessarily call it a truce, but for that situation itself, the Purple Dragons and Raphael kind of had a short-term agreement and alliance just under the circumstances. But as the episode ends, the cool thing about it is Raphael steals a motorcycle, which if you're unaware and it's your first time being introduced into Raphael's vehicle of choice has always been a motorcycle. I believe the first time I've seen Ralphie on the motorcycle, it might have been paying homage to the horrible live-action TV show that was on Fox back in the day. So he rides off with the purple dragon motorcycle. So all in all, that was the episode. I was completely satisfied. I don't know if it was one of the moments to where like, well, I actually feel like so far with this series, with the first 2 episodes, it warmed up. It started really low with Leonardo. He was kind of boring to me. April was more of the highlight of that episode, but Michelangelo came in with the comedy and the fun and the animals. Raphael comes in with the immediate action and violence and that grit that I want. I think this episode was dedicated to entertaining the long-term TMNT fans. Also, that one purple dragon guy I was telling you guys about with the brick, he had a soft heart for chickens. And it just so happens at the end of the episode, the chicken ends up getting ran over by a car. I thought that was kind of harsh, but I still laughed at it at the same time. All in all, I give this episode, I'm going to say this is going to be about a 9 out of 10. It could be because of the adrenaline rush I had of satisfaction by this up and down with the first 2 episodes. I'm looking forward to the next episode. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys have put it down. I would recommend that you should at least watch episode 3 and give me your criticism. This is Jay Leno. I'm out, and I appreciate you guys watching.